I'm totally afraid. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of being humiliated. But I'm totally confident. The closer I get to the ring, the more confidence I get. The closer, I'm more confident.
The new definition of confidence. Confidence is the willingness to try.
My confidence comes from both my faith and in the fact that I keep promises I make to myself.
Borrow confidence from the past.
Confidence.
Why you named your Instagram handle like 100 Days to Me?
So I started a challenge for myself, and I honestly, I was gonna call it like 100 different things. You know, I was just trying to think of different names. And 100 Ways to Me came to me when I broke down what the challenge actually was. And basically it's changing something small about yourself every single day for 100 days. Even like preparing for this interview today, so this holidays has been super rough for me. One of the things that happens for me during the holidays is, so I have PTSD, and so being around a lot of people for a long time, it starts to really wear on me. And so I actually was super nervous today. I was like, how am I supposed to talk about, I don't know anything about anything. Like, who would want to interview me? Yeah, my daughter, she's studying psychology in college, and she's like, are you serious right now, Mom? Like, okay, cool, you don't have a psychology degree, but you literally live in mental health. Like I have PTSD, I'm in recovery for alcoholism. I'm alcoholic. One of the things that we learn in recovery is that the reason we have such a hard time stopping drinking is because we get like such an unhealthy relationship with it, and we're obsessed with it. And that's absolutely true. When I was drinking, it was literally the only thing that I could think of. Even if I wasn't drinking, I was thinking about drinking.
Never!
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm seeing your lost and found video.
Oh, yay! That makes me so happy. What'd you think?
It's really good. Like, that conversation is really good.
Good. Thank you.
And I also noticed that you have some great camera acting skills.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
And I watched your recent video that you posted on Number One Fangirl.
So fun. It is so fun. It's crazy because I love writing films and I love filming.
Okay.
I didn't think that I would like to be in front of the camera, but that's just how it's working out.
Yeah, like I saw your recent video on Fangirl. It's like you have put so much work in it because you have done so much of editing. With your, like, because I can see you talking, and at the same time I saw your pictures, like are you feeling sad means you are showing your sad face.
Yes. And so that's kind of the goal there, right? I want to show both sides of myself. So yeah, cool. I'm so glad that you got to check them out. That makes me really happy.
And like I also watched your editing. I didn't remember. Editing is Everything trailer.
Yeah. So if you have a chance, you should check out. I put a link in the description. The video that the Editing is Everything actually edited all of our videos together.
Okay.
It's amazing. If you like I love editing. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So I think she's amazing. I get a lot of inspiration from her.
Like, who is that? I didn't get you. Like,
the channel is called Editing is Everything.
Oh, okay. It's a channel name.
Yes. Yeah. And so the girl who runs it, she like just creates. She'll use YouTubers or films. Like she does like, what if Harry Potter was a horror movie? And so she'll take bits of Harry Potter and make the trailer look like it's a horror movie. It's really cool. It shows like what editing can do. I love it.
Awesome. I also really want to dig into that.
Oh, it's so fun. It is so fun. It's, again, I knew nothing about it until I started a YouTube channel, and now I love editing. It's so fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, I recently got to know your name.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I'm really grateful to talk to you. Like I follow your work on Instagram. I've watched a couple of your videos, and it's amazing to me. See, all of this is so new to me, all of the being present online. And I feel like there's so much demand behind it. And I feel like every time I turn around, you're there. I'm like, you are 15 steps ahead of me all the time. And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Because I have that fear. So I'm putting out myself. Like I used to be like a kind of person. I think that my face is not good. I'm not photogenic. I used to think like that.
Oh, I feel like that's not right. You're gorgeous. And you have like a really great energy. Like I can feel the passion and the drive behind everything that you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And like I don't know more details about you, so that's why I asked you for this like a conversation kind of. So
wonderful. Well, thank you.
And like, why you named your Instagram handle like 100 Ways to Me?
So I started a challenge for myself, and I honestly, I was gonna call it like 100 different things. You know, I was just trying to think of different names. And 100 Ways to Me came to me when I broke down what the challenge actually was. And basically, it's changing something small about yourself every single day for 100 days. And so I started to realize the name, and this is what I find in creativity all of the time, is that the name actually grew into itself, if that makes any sense. Like first I was just trying to think of a catchy thing for like 100 days. Okay. And then as I started posting about all of the challenges that I was doing for myself, I was like, wait, this is actually, everybody has different things about them. Yes. And when we're online, you know, we're creating our brand, we try to become super focused on one part of us because that's what the algorithms want. That's what, you know, that's what will draw people in. And I think there's truth to that. But then the downfall of that is there's so many other parts of us that are amazing that don't get brought into the light. And so for me, like when I started the 100 Ways to Me, I had 2 other Instagram accounts, I had 3 Twitter accounts, and I had 2 YouTube channels.
Yes.
And I was spread, I was spread all over the place. And I was like, you know what, I need to bring them all together because they're all parts of me. So that's what it's really become. And the challenge actually completely changed my life. And so I'm writing a book on that, and I'm hoping, my hope for 100 Ways to Me is to start a focus group of people who would like to start the challenge as well. And so that we can share our journey together. And, you know, I would love for other people to participate in the book as well. So
awesome. Like, what is the one challenge that you like put yourself?
So it started like the very base of it started with, I heard Mel Robbins speaking, and she was saying, so get real about the challenge or the goal that you want to reach, right? So fast forward a year to the future, what are the habits that you have that are giving you the success that you want? So I did that. I wrote it all down. And then she was like, now come back to this day, and what are you willing to embody in this day that will get you there? Well, everything that I had written down, that was like a completely different person.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I can't embody all of these things, because at the time I was scared to talk to people. I hid in my bed a lot. I couldn't keep commitments. I definitely couldn't post on social media every day. So I was like, this is too big. I can't change into this person tomorrow, but what are some tiny little steps that I can start taking to become this person? Maybe my goal for a year is to be this person. And so what I started doing was, the first day was just, I'm going to start walking every morning. So I woke up every single morning and I started taking a walk. And then the second day it was, I'm going to start brushing my teeth when I wake up. And then I'm going to start posting on Instagram. So all of these, one challenge a day, but keep them all going for 100 days. And what's crazy is within less than 2 months, I had a regular sleep schedule. I was able to sleep through the night, which I haven't been able to do in years. I was posting on Instagram almost every single day. I was able to talk to people on the phone, which I wasn't able to. It was just, I was a completely different person in less than 2 months. And so then that original list that I had written down, I was like, I'm becoming this person. And it really just, it was like with every day that I stuck to those goals and I marked off on my chart, I had more confidence in myself. And that's really what it all comes down to, I think, is loving yourself, but you have to trust yourself. So I've been building trust in myself.
I can relate so much to all those things, because when I started, because I have that insecurities in my mind that I'm like I want to achieve big. I have big dreams, but I have that fear of putting myself in front of the camera, or I have that fear of speaking. So that's why, like, I started small. I started doing 1 minute Instagram videos, and I promised myself I do it every single day. At least it's just a 1 minute or 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's like that, making that promise to yourself and then fulfilling it is so rewarding.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm not doing all these things for anybody. I'm doing it for myself. Like, when I look back at my old posts, I see like how the growth I have, and many people are like following my journey, and they say you have came across so many hurdles and you reached here.
Yes. Yes, it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Like, when I started YouTube or Instagram, in my mind, I don't have that thought of interviewing people or talking to people. But I started first doing live sessions, me talking just. Then people used to come on my lives, and I started talking to them. Then I have that thought, why can't I speak to many people? Why can't I interview many people?
Oh, that's so awesome. I know I saw that you're going to do 1,000 interviews this year, and I'm like shouting, like, yes, you could do it. You could do it. I know you could do it.
Yeah. I got that thought when I'm walking from like office to home. I got that thought, and I recorded myself saying, yes, I can do it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like that is so much of what I learned this past year is when you get that idea and then you feel that in your gut.
Yes.
Go with it right then. Because if you start going, well, I don't know, it's done. It's done. You've already talked yourself out of it.
Yes, like I also do. When I get an idea, I'll first write it in my journal. Whether I'll do it or not, that's secondary. But I'll first take that action right away.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I set reminders on my phone. That's because I feel like that, if you don't take action on it, then it's definitely dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like commented on my post. No, you said, I think you sent me a DM saying that you watched my interview, and your mom came.
Yes, so she just heard you talking, and she came in and she was like, "Oh my gosh, who is this?" And I was just telling her, like, I started telling her how I see you everywhere, and every time I think that I'm like doing really good, I'm like, you've already been on all of the posts that I've like looked at, and and you I was comparing you to Evan Carmichael because my mom knows Evan Carmichael, and I love Evan Carmichael.
Yes.
But you are like, he has a team of people doing what you're doing on your own. And I think there was this one, I believe it was one of your Instagram posts, but you were talking about your environment and how it needed to change. And so you moved. And I just was like, how, for me, I mean, that's not the first thing that I think of doing. You know, I think of how can I start to change my environment here, and it just seems so amazing. You're like, this is my dream, and if this is getting in the way of my dream, I'm changing it. Done. And so I was telling my mom that. She was like, she's so young. I was like, she seems very young, but she is just like running circles around all of us. So like,
Yes, I'm 25.
You're 25?
Yes.
So, yes, that is, I thought that you were younger than that, and so did my mother. But that is, I mean, you're doing amazing, amazing work. I'm just turned 39, and I mean, I'm okay with that, but I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do.
I feel like I'm old.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you take on a lot from what I can see. But.
And like I did a lot of work this year. I really like, I'm proud of myself.
Good. I love that. I love that so much. I love hearing self-love. I feel like that's something that I missed out on a lot, my generation, and we're just now starting to go, oh, hey, wait, it's actually good to be good with you.
Yes. And like we are digging for we are seeking love from others. But we are seeking love from others, but we have so much love inside.
Yes. It's crazy. I didn't even realize how much I needed from other people until I started looking inside of myself. And now I feel super fulfilled with myself. And so then I'm able to actually be present with other people and actually love them.
And I saw that Debbie also started your challenge.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, what kind of person you are, like, since your childhood? Are you this confident?
I do feel more confident. I still have, even like preparing for this interview today, so this holidays has been super rough for me. One of the things that happens for me during the holidays is, so I have PTSD, and so being around a lot of people for a long time, it starts to really wear on me. And so I actually was super nervous today. I was like, how am I supposed to talk about, I don't know anything about anything. Like, who would want to interview me? Yeah, my daughter, she's studying psychology in college, and she's like, are you serious right now, Mom? Like, okay, cool. You don't have a psychology degree, but you literally live in mental health. Like I have PTSD. I'm in recovery for alcoholism. I'm a caregiver for my grandmother who has dementia. My mother suffers from depression. Like it surrounds every facet of my life. And I'm like, I don't know anything about it. So I feel like I'm definitely more confident. But I definitely still have the moments where I think, how could anybody want to talk to me about anything? And what could I possibly have to offer? But I've learned that now when I feel that way, if I continue to go through with the commitment, or I tell other people how I'm feeling, then I trust myself again and I feel better again.
Yes.
And so I'm able to come on here and I'm like, yes, let's talk about this.
And like every time you do that work, your confidence level will increase.
Yes. Yeah. And this is it. This is the kind of thing that, you know, that going back to that list that I made with the Mel Robbins challenge, this is exactly the kind of thing that I was hoping for a year from now. I started that challenge for myself in August. So, you know, it's just once you start doing the work, the doors just start to open. And
yes,
it's amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like you spoke about sleeping habits. So like what made you like you told you don't get that sleep like immediately, or like what are the reasons for it?
A lot of that has to do with my PTSD. So I get really, really, really bad nightmares. And then I have this thing called sleep paralysis, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. But basically in sleep paralysis, you wake up, so you're conscious, but your body's still asleep. So you can't move. And it's actually terrifying because you think that there's something wrong because you're conscious, but you can't move your body.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I'll eventually be able to wake myself up out of it, but then I'm too scared to go back to sleep. So it's things like that. And then also, once you get into the habit of being up all night and being terrified of sleeping, then it becomes a habit. So I actually tried a lot of things to change my sleep schedule. And when I started walking every day, it wasn't even in the hopes that my sleep would get better, but it actually made my sleep better. So yeah, I still have nightmares, but that's where a lot of my creative work comes from. Now, whenever I wake up with nightmares, I'll write everything down, and then I'm like, okay, how can I turn this into a film?
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I feel like that is, I mean, Stephen King, oh my gosh, like how much of a career has he made from horror? And I don't know what his life looks like. Maybe he suffers from nightmares. Maybe he's got an amazing imagination. But everything that I was doing to try to ignore the nightmares or make them go away didn't work. So why not just be like, okay, cool, I got a new story idea. And then I can lay back down.
That's awesome. So you got a new film idea.
Yes, exactly. I turned it into a blessing rather than
rather than worrying about it or talking about it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I'm an alcoholic, right? I haven't had anything to drink or any drugs or anything in almost 3 years. But the reason that I drank so much was because I didn't want to deal with all of that. It was so scary for me, and I felt like I just wanted it to go away. So in embracing it and just understanding that it's part of me, it's just completely changed everything. And I was talking to my daughter about this. When I was trying to run from it, I was doing horrible things. But when I embrace it, I'm able to love everybody. Everybody gets so scared of the darkness, but it's actually really freeing. It has been for me.
And like I watched what like 3 or 4 videos from your YouTube channel, like with your name. In that like it's all about horror on like a blood marks on your face.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I didn't like. I thought you like horror movies, but there is background.
Hmm. Yeah, and this is what a lot of the work that I have going on in the background deals with. And so all of the scary demons that you see, I want them to represent the demons of mental health, right? As an addict, I feel like those demons were so scary to me, right? I felt like it was the demons inside of me that were making me drink.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to show in my film that battle that goes on in your head.
Yes.
But then what happens when you start to talk to it and understand it rather than just treat it as if it's a scary monster that needs to go in the shed, right?
Yeah, yes. And like I really don't know what is PTSD.
Oh, PTSD? It's post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh.
So if you have suffered a trauma,
Mm-hmm.
then your body and mind don't react properly to normal life. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why you got addicted to alcohol or these things? What is the reason?
well, the reason is there's lots of different theories about how somebody becomes an alcoholic. For me, I suffered a lot of trauma as a child. I was emotionally and sexually abused by somebody in my family. Oh. And so then when I grew up at 21, I started a family, and I disconnected myself from my family, and I had the white picket fence, I had the 3 kids, and I was incredibly depressed.
Okay.
So I went into therapy, and I realized that I had PTSD. I was depressed because I had all of these unresolved issues.
Okay.
And I still wasn't ready to face them. Instead, I started drinking.
Okay.
Yeah. So I won't say I do have other alcoholics in my family. So I think that I do think that I'm genetically predisposed for it. But I do think that the PTSD and the alcoholism feed off of each other. If I'm not taking care of both of them, then they'll both take care of themselves in a really bad way. Yeah.
Like so what moment you thought, I want to come out of all these things, I want to get rid of that alcohol? Like what moment triggered you?
It was really a series of moments. I had a lot of bad things happen. And then I also had a lot of good things happen in between those bad things.
Okay.
So it really, and honestly, I was ready to kill myself. And I was trying to do that with alcohol. And then it got to the point where I had been drinking for so long that I was drinking and I didn't even feel the effects of the alcohol. And so I was thinking about ending my life. And I thought about my children at my funeral. Okay. And I thought about that, and I thought, I can give it one more try. I was like, if that's the only future that you see, let's try to get there the best way instead of the worst way. So I don't know why that moment changed me, because before then I had been drinking to die, right? That's what I was trying to do. But then actually envisioning it happening and planning it, because I was planning it, something changed inside of me. And I had found help before. I had been to treatment facilities. I had lived in homeless shelters. I had so many people who tried to help me before, but this time I wanted it. Like something inside of me wanted it so bad that I wasn't going to let anything get in the way. So I think before I tried to do it for my children, and this time I was doing it for myself. And I don't know what it was that changed, honestly.
Yes. And I really don't know, when I see your pictures on, I really don't know you have gone through all these things.
Yeah. Yeah. I've come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who are with you during that situations? Like, who helped you to come out of those?
I would say the biggest helps were my children, and I had two therapists that I saw at 2 different times who were incredible, and then I had a community of people who were also trying to stop drinking.
Okay.
So, but I would say that once I started listening to my children instead of trying to tell them things,
Okay.
I started learning from my children.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been the biggest guide in this new world of being online and loving myself, because they have really shown me what it's like to embrace the world. I was so scared of the world before, and my children just take it all, you know, and then they they showed me YouTube, they showed me fan art, they showed me all of these things, and it was the things that they were using to cope with their mother being an alcoholic, and then it turned out that it helped me to pull myself out of it. And it's crazy because we always think we have so much to teach our children, and my children have taught me so much. So they're the biggest.
Awesome. And recently, like you were on Lynn's podcast, Clients. Is that your first one, or?
Yes, that is the first. That's the first one. So I loved it. It was amazing. And I was thinking about today, I had a couple of opportunities last year to do things like this, and then I was so scared I canceled them. And then I hid for like 4 months in my bed. And but Lynn's podcast was really amazing. She is doing amazing work. The live stream, doing that every day.
Every day, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's so it's so this is such a hard time for people with mental health. So to know that there's a place to go, well, everybody has mental health, but you know what I mean? Like,
yes, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've seen you on there as well on her live streams, and it's just being able to connect with other people during that time when you're surrounded by family. That can be hard. So, yeah.
And like, she also helped me really, like I'm following her from a long time. And recently I have been to one of her mastermind group, like Hangouts group. And I asked her for feedback, like how I'm interviewing people. Like I interviewed her before. So that's why I asked her. So she said, like, you're not presenting, like you're not presenting at that moment. You're thinking about next, what to ask.
Yes.
Be present at that moment. Then from that day, I took to my mind and heart, like I took it as a positive day. And from that day, I started doing interviews without preparing questions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like in the past 3-4 days, I did almost close to 7-8 interviews.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And how do you feel going into it like that with no questions prepared? Is it scary?
No, it's not scary. First, I felt like how did I complete that a half an hour or 1 hour interview conversation? I'm so scared, but I did it. I went on and I listened to their conversation, and in that conversation, I found some questions. Like if they tell something, I'll ask why, what happened, what is the reason.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is huge. Well, I feel like you are just a natural at it. So why did you decide to start interviewing people? What is the passion for you in it?
Because I have that fear of like I'm very, very, very good student at studies, but I have low self-esteem, low confidence. I got many opportunity to speak during my college days, but I didn't use those opportunities. But now my inner self says, no, you should not wait. It's your time. Yeah. Yeah, it's your time.
I love it. I love it. That is really, really inspiring. So inspiring.
And first I asked, like, I used to talk to Tommy T. I think you know him.
Yes, he's fun.
Yeah. So, like, I used to talk to him daily, like message him or comment on his, because I found his post funny, and he'll post like some funny stuff. So so I asked him for the first interview, and he said yes, I'd love to share my like a journey.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then I started doing like so many interviews. I asked Lynn, I asked Debbie, and almost till date I did, I posted 18 or 20 interviews on YouTube already. And I have almost 10 or 15 interviews for waiting for editing.
Oh, that's amazing. I bet that feels so good.
Yes.
Do you like editing?
Like I like, but I don't want to spend much time on it, because my main goal is not that. So I want to be good at speaking. So I'm spending time on improving my speaking skills.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the starting, I started my YouTube channel with posting some edited videos or like that. I really loved it.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I can see you got that hat, or like I think cap. Everything is editing.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was a gift from the YouTuber.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, is that your daughter on that video, Lost and Found, or your friend?
No, that was that's a creative partner that I have. And yeah, so we worked together a lot last year. Yeah. She's actually well, so this is where my conflict is, and this is somebody being surrounded by mental health issues. I feel like I'm so open about my journey, and then I'm like, okay, I have to remember to keep other people's journeys to let them share their journey. So she's a creative partner. She's amazing. We share a lot of these same ideas about demons and mental health and all of that, and I cannot wait to work with her some more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you are doing it full time? This making videos or creating films?
Yes, I do it full. Well, so I am a caregiver for my grandmother, and then I do my creative work, and then I have 3 teenage children. Okay. So I try to spread it all out evenly, but that is the goal, to be doing it completely full time. I really would love to start a production company where this is what we focus on, is mental health, and making films about it and all of that. So that's really my big goal that I'm working towards.
Like, how much time it will take to edit one video for you?
So Lost and Found, that video took about 40 hours to edit.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, I didn't know anything going into editing. Nothing. Okay. Yeah. And part of the trauma issues that I have are centered around internet and camera and all of that. So being able to make films, be in front of the camera, and then watch them and all of that, that is overcoming years of fear and trauma. So it's very healing. It's super healing to be able to teach myself, and then, yeah. Yeah.
What kind of software you use for editing? Like
now I use Filmora.
okay.
It's a Wondershare product.
Yes, I use that same product.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think it's very user friendly for somebody who is just getting into it. I think it's
yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was your morning routine in the past, and what is your morning routine now?
So, oh my goodness, my morning routine used to be pretend like I don't have to get up and lay in bed as long as I possibly can, and then lay in bed way too long, and then be super angry when I wake up because it's so late. I'd have a million notifications on my phone, and most of them were pointless. It was like, somebody posted on Twitter, or this YouTube video is up now, and I would be like overwhelmed by all the notifications, so I just swipe them all away. And that usually took about the first half hour of my morning.
Okay.
And now it is get up and walk, brush my teeth, meditate, do some stretches, and then after an hour of taking care of myself and checking in with myself, then I'll look at my phone.
Okay.
And there's usually only a couple of notifications, because it's like, oh, somebody actually wants to talk to me. It's not somebody tweeting. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, because you deleted those unnecessary apps from your phone.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you recently posted one picture, and in the description you wrote about obsession. How bad is obsession, or how good is it? Like, can you explain or explain about it?
Yeah. So as an alcoholic, one of the things that we learn in recovery is that the reason we have such a hard time stopping drinking is because we get like such an unhealthy relationship with it, and we're obsessed with it. And that's absolutely true. When I was drinking, it was literally the only thing that I could think of. Even if I wasn't drinking, I was thinking about drinking. So now, now that I've been like following entrepreneurs, and I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I'm learning about like the drive and the motivation that you need to reach your goals, I'm like, wow, a lot of the time it sounds like we're talking about obsession, because that really is, you know, if you wake up and you're thinking about your dreams and your goals and your passions, and then that's what you are driving for all day long, it's for me, I feel like obsession, passion, motivation, I feel like they all fall in the same category. So then we like have to determine what is a good obsession and what is a bad obsession. Well, the obsession for alcohol wasn't working for me anymore, so I have to get rid of that. But does that mean that all my obsession is bad? Does that mean that all of my obsession is a dangerous thing? Is that a trait that I have that I feel like I need to just get rid of? Or can I embrace it and use it in different ways? And for me, I feel like so much of my art and the things that I obsess about are kind of not the normal, you know, they're not the things that I don't know very many other people who obsess about, like, you know, sewn up mouths and blood dripping down the face. And it is very healing for me. But then there's a lot of people who will tell me, like, you don't want to spend too long in that dark place. But why not? So that was the conversation I wanted to start, and I'm going to continue to bring it up because I find it really interesting to hear people's thoughts on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
sometimes it will create a bad thing on your mind as well if you're doing the same thing or if you're spending too much time without taking any break.
I agree.
And I want to share this with you. Like, I want to name this episode as Rockstar Recovery.
Yay! Oh, I love it. Yes.
Because Tommy Trasher, he sent me a picture. Like, it's a drink, Rockstar Recovery drink. So he sent me a picture and said, you can put this for your series, for your AQ series.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. That is great.
So, like, what are your plans for, like, what are your current projects are you working? Do you have any thoughts?
What projects am I working on? So I'm writing a book about the 100 Ways to Me challenge. And then I have 4 films that I'm working on. And then I have a lot of films in the editing process, both for my Fangirl channel and for my Adrian Harlet channel.
Okay.
So my biggest goals for 2019 are to see some fruition on both of those channels and to get other people on board with my production dream.
Okay.
And then
So
I really
want to build a team.
Yeah. I'm really hoping to go see Evan Carmichael while he's on tour.
He's coming to your place or?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No, I live in Texas. He's not coming to Texas.
I live in Texas.
Yay, awesome. Well, maybe we should go together.
I live in Austin.
Me too.
You?
Yeah. We could have been doing this face to face.
Yes. I live in south side of Austin.
Okay, I live very north.
Okay. I used to live in north side. Like, I lived there for 1 year and I moved here because I used to travel through bus, but they stopped this bus service.
Yeah, it's hard to do the bus service up north. It is.
Yeah. So I moved to here, like near to my office, so that I can come to office every time, like whenever I want.
That's nice. Wow, we're so close. Cool.
Yesterday night only I came to Domain with my roommates.
Yeah. Wow.
You're in Texas.
Yes. Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll meet you one day.
Yes, I think we should make it happen.
Yes.
I think we should.
Yes. We should click pictures and we should like put it on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah. How crazy. Okay, well maybe next time I'll interview you and we'll do it face to face. We'll be in the same room.
Same
Okay.
room. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And I'm planning to go to India on February 1st.
Oh, nice.
For my brother's wedding.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you get to go to India very often?
Like I came to US on 2015. I went last year. After 2.5 years, I went last year to India and then going again in February.
That is exciting.
Yes. And I'm super excited to meet my nephew. He is 5 months old.
Oh, that's precious.
Yes, he is the first kid in my family.
Oh, wow. That is really exciting.
Yes.
Wow.
So, is there anything important you want to share or any?
I feel like I've shared so much.
And you are consistent last year. You you posted many videos on your personal channel, like with your name, but you didn't post it like very often. Why?
So I actually, most of those videos were posted in 2017. And then I ended up getting really sick at the end of the year, and I went into a very deep depression.
Okay.
And I was in it for almost a year, which is when I started the 100 Ways to Make It.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah, it was, and so actually this year is the most consistent I've ever been, like with my Instagram posts. This is where I have the hardest time, I think, is most of the work that I do takes so much time. And it's so hard for me to be present online with new content because I feel like the pressure of that takes away from the actual content that I'm creating. I'm like so worried about I gotta do something online today, but I really need to be focusing on this so it will actually see the light of day. So that is I feel like this is the biggest place where my confidence is really needing to kick in. You know, like I'm hoping that I will be more able to understand that how am I trying to say this? Basically, what works for everybody else doesn't work always for me.
Yes.
And then I got to find my own way.
Yeah. So, like, have you been to like university education or?
I went to school to become a medical assistant. So I was a medical assistant for a few years, but that's a trade school. That's the only education that I got.
Okay, like, do you think education is like necessary, like higher education, or doing something like or getting experience is necessary?
I honestly believe that experience is the best teacher, but I also believe that everybody's got to follow their heart. My oldest daughter just started university this year, so she's been through one semester, and you know, I saw how hard she worked to get there, and now how hard she's working while she's there, and I think it's amazing. It's amazing. She also has other dreams that she is like she's creative as well, so she's working on creative projects. But really, in the end, I really believe that what I hope for my children is that they'll follow their heart. And so that's what I feel like for everybody. Like, what does your heart say today? Not what do you think is going to happen in the future, but what does your heart say today?
Yes. And we people, like, we worry a lot about future and we won't be present at that moment.
Yes. Yeah. The future worrying takes so much away from what's happening now. And this is, all the magic is right here.
Yes. We don't know what will happen in the next moment, but we worry about it.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But one thing is for sure, like, if you're in this moment now, then you'll be in the next moment probably because you're already present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, do you love reading books? What are your favorite books?
Let's see. My favorite books. I really don't read that much anymore. I'm reading Your One Word right now by Carmichael. I just finished a Picture of Dorian Gray. That one is amazing. It is really good. And then let's see.
I think you consume more video content.
I do. I consume a lot of video content. And so I wrote a novel in 2016, and I wrote it, it was about YouTube.
Okay.
So it's a horror novel about YouTube.
Horror novel.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I love it. It's fantastic. It's the first novel I've ever completed. And I'm like, nobody is going to read this because my audience watches YouTube.
Okay. Like
So
where you have put it? Like is it
Nowhere.
online? Nowhere.
I haven't put it anywhere because I am turning it into a film. I'm turning it into short films that I'm going to put on YouTube.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, because that's where it belongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow I turned into a filmmaker. I don't even know how it happened.
Because of your nightmares, your thoughts, and your life experience got you here.
Yeah.
Yes, they all teach you that you're not a victim. You are a rock star and you are a filmmaker.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's exciting.
And like, how do you keep yourself away from distractions?
Well, I don't always. And I guess the main thing is I ask myself, is this feeding my creativity?
Okay.
Or am I actually hiding from something?
Okay.
And so usually I'll go off of whatever the answer is. If I'm hiding from something, then I'll ask a whole nother series of questions. What are you hiding from? Do you need hiding? All that kind of stuff. But being a person who just, it's crazy. For 2016, I was not to be found on social media.
Okay.
I was never on YouTube. I was never on Instagram, never on any of these places. And so now it's all a distraction, but it's all learning. Like I'm still learning so much about it. So I think since this is my line of work, I don't consider it distraction usually. It's educational.
Okay. Like what part of yourself you love? Like a writing or like a developing ideas or filming or editing? What you love the most?
I love all of that the most. I spent a lot of years literally terrified to create anything. Anytime that I would sit down to create something, I would talk myself out of it. There were times when I would have a pen and paper and I couldn't even get one word on the paper. So now that I can do all of it.
You are writing a book.
Yeah, I'm writing a book. I got 2 YouTube channels. I got all these films that I'm creating. I'm like posting content on Instagram. I never thought that I would be who I am today. Never.
Okay.
So I love it all.
Awesome. Like I think you're not putting your video clips that you filmed or you posted on YouTube on Instagram. I think you didn't post it, right?
Right. I have not done that yet.
Yeah. Because if you do, like if you take that small 1-minute clip from it, you'll post it on, you'll get some audience exposure. Or
yes, I think that is a wonderful idea. Yeah, and I've definitely thought about it. I actually haven't posted on Instagram in almost a week, maybe a week.
Okay.
Yeah, the holidays have been. This is actually my next post on Instagram is going to be about putting your own oxygen mask on first, because that's what I've been having to do this past week. It's been so intense that this is part of the deal for me. You know, I have mental health issues, and so I can stay consistent and then I can't. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. So I really like that idea of posting the clips. And I cannot wait to see my video clips on Instagram. It's going to be so exciting.
Yeah, because you'll get so much exposure. Then people can ask you, where can I find a full video or kind of.
Do you think I should do it like as a post or like in my stories?
No, like a post.
Okay.
Because, yeah, it will stay for like long time, right? So if it is a story, it will disappear in 24 hours.
That's a good idea. I like it. Nice.
And like, what is the impact you want to create through your films or or your creativity or your books, from your books?
I really just want to bring awareness and have the conversation started. I mean, really, I want to show people like how good it is to love yourself, right? And to just be completely authentic. And so that's really it. I just want to be myself and open, and hopefully, because I feel like when other people are being authentic, I feel more encouraged to do that. So that is really what I hope to do. It's just,
and it's just like, I want to share you one advice or suggestion. I don't know, I really want to.
yeah, yes.
Because I like with this conversation I got to know so much of you, like, and if you like search for meetups or like any community nearby your place, and go and share your story, or go to any recovery centers, so that if you tell your story, you can inspire more people.
That is a really good idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
And you can also film those things, like when you are speaking, or because you have that fear of speaking or presenting yourself, and you're facing it, and at the same time you're helping that recovery people who like so they can get lots of benefits from your story. If they have any questions, they can ask you how you have gone and how you overcome it.
I think that's a really good idea. I think the only reason I'm not more into doing that kind of thing is because that's not the passion that drives me. The passion that drives me is creating the films.
Okay.
And so whenever I start putting too much energy into that, it takes away from that.
Oh, from that. Okay.
And that was where, and this is not to say that it's not good advice, because that is wonderful advice. But this is one of the battles that I have, like for instance, the book 100 Ways to Me that I'm writing. I feel like
I totally understand you. Yeah, the war between
and I feel like I think it's great to share that journey with people, but that's not what motivates me and drives me. So I'm torn on it. I feel like it's a good project for helping people, but so is the film, and that's where my heart is.
Yes,
so
I totally. Yes.
All still learning. Like I'm learning so much right now, and I'm trying to go with my heart always. Always going with my heart. But I really appreciate all of you have a lot of experience here, so I really appreciate it.
Because I totally understand the fight between the thoughts.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
You know, if you would have asked me that like 3 years ago, I would have given you a whole list of them, but no, I think the only thing that still eats at me sometimes is that I didn't start listening to my gut and following my heart sooner. But that would be it, because everything that I went through got me here. So
yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so
I feel
much
like I have so much to learn from you. So this is great.
It's like a mutual.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have shared so much, and I really felt it. It's not like interview. I didn't wrote single question.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very nice conversation.
Yes.
Very good. So next time I will interview you, and now I know that we're so close. It's exciting.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yes, exciting. And happy holidays, and wish you happy New Year. And
you as well.
Creative New Year.
Yes.
I want to see so many films from you.
Okay, and I want to see so many interviews from you.
Yes.
This would be so fun.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm totally afraid. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of losing. I'm afraid of being humiliated. But I'm totally confident. The closer I get to the ring, the more confidence I get. The closer, I'm more confident.
The new definition of confidence. Confidence is the willingness to try.
My confidence comes from both my faith and in the fact that I keep promises I make to myself.
Borrow confidence from the past.
Confidence. 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 Confidence.
There's a difference. I want to do it and I want to be a rock star, right? Like, and that's where you influence people. Like, you know, like I want to do it, but I also want to be the most popular. And so then that person's like, oh, I want to be him. So I guess I'll be nice. Like I want to literally take people who have DNA that's kind of nice and make them more nice.
Now or never. Now or never.